Hello, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena Brawl video. The first I've done in a while, but hopefully not the last for a while. With Midnight Hunt right around the corner, I'm excited to get into a lot of the new cards, and with rotation happening, I'm prepared to start investing time into Arena again to try and get my collection back up and be able to brew more freely than I've been able to over the last couple of months, with not wanting to invest too heavily in the cards that have just about to rotate, and just making the most of my wild cards there. There was, however, one creature that I was really interested to build a deck around in AFR, which was Volo, and this mostly comes down to Volo Guide to Monsters being an interesting pseudo-tribal commander, since the tribe is different creature types. Whenever you cast a spell that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control, you copy it. You basically, every creature that has a type that hasn't been used before on the field or in the graveyard, you get two of them. And it's a pretty straightforward effect, and it's a pretty fun one to play around with, because it means that we basically look through all of our various different creature types and try to find the best ones out of them for making a deck. We could theoretically run the same thing multiple times and clear out the graveyard, or just make sure that things are sequenced in a way that they don't enter the battlefield at the same time, or just run good stuff and get that double value whenever it does come up. But it's more interesting to build it this way, in my opinion, at least at the moment. With, once again, Midnight Hunt has a lot of graveyard shenanigans, so maybe there's an interesting build around we could do. But essentially that's our game plan. We have creatures that are really, really good, and we get two of them instead of the one. So we're effectively doubling our mana in a sense, because we're getting essentially two casts of each creature. This does, however, mean that we don't want too many legendary creatures, and so the ones that we've got, with only a couple of exceptions, have ETB effects. That means that we get double value still. So, like Kogler, we get the fight; Karuga, we get the card draw, and then the real ones enter. We get the card draw and the fight again, and then we get to keep the real ones as opposed to the tokens. Uro, we just get double triggers since it's going to die anyway. We get our extra card draw, extra 3 life, extra land potentially. Renata is essentially entering first, because the token gets created and then the creature enters. So we get our Renata to also have the +1/+1 counter. And Nylia and Toski are both mainly just in here since they provide extra value. It's a creature-focused deck, so being able to get creatures into hand is important to keeping our game plan going, and we create tokens, so we go wide, and Toski can draw us more cards there. Outside of that, it's a little bit of ramp just to make sure that we can reliably hit our good things at the top end, and essentially trying to outvalue our opponent in a short period of time by just getting our tokens, getting our wide board presence, and just steamrolling through. And hopefully that will work out. I put this deck together mostly without crafting much. I think only a couple of cards that aren't going to rotate got crafted, and they're things that I'd likely use. I think like lands were the main ones, and the Balaged Recovery, Glasspool Mimic. But I put it together essentially immediately after the release of AFR, but then haven't actually played it until now, so I figured I'd have a shot with it, see how it works just before rotation, since it's going to look drastically different afterwards as well, since we'll be losing so many of these cards, like the Karuga, the Uro, the Gargaroth I think is also going. Yep. So we'll have a fresh slate to work with for what we do with Volo going into Midnight Hunt and beyond. So without further ado, let's get into some games. Alright, so we're starting off against a Toski deck. Okay, this is, I think this is a good enough hand. It's not got anything to mana accelerate, however, hopefully this Scry should set us up with either another land or... Oh, they've got a Once Upon a Time. Ah, yes. Good card, that. That's a card I think I've forgotten for this deck. Alright, that is not what we need. So yes, I'd much prefer to get a mana dork here than land, but a land will do. I think I'd probably drop Nylea before Volo, unless... Okay, that's not too good for us. Actually, it's not a problem. There's nothing really in graveyard at the moment. It's not acceleration for them either. Okay, so Toski's coming out next turn, so we'll be able to draw cards. There's the Lotus Cobra. If I were to play out the Lotus Cobra and then... Okay, no. I think this does cement, though, that Nylea is the play. Since this makes everything cheaper, next turn I can play Volo into the Lotus Cobra. Into a land which doesn't do anything for me, but... Okay, so got quite a few small creatures. But we should... Okay, there we go, that's perfect. Because now they're tapped out, we get out of Volo. Lotus Cobra first. Forest. Two triggers of that. Green. Green. And now Nylea is a creature. Swing in with Nylea. And I've got a Snakeskin Veil up for protection. Oh yeah, of course, they got Toski. That was a dumb swing. Oh well. We now have a board presence. We can now trade into the Scavenging Ooze with one of these. It needs 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, one of these can die. Oh, that's not good. That needs to go ASAP. I can kill that with either... I think I can do it with Kogla, because if I think I've got the mana where... Oh no, that's a great henge too. That's a good turn for them. Oh yeah, they've tapped Toski because yeah, they're all lands now. Okay. Let's make cast a permanent value equal to highest mana value among opponents they control. Okay, I think that's just Scry 1 because the Great Henge, they're not going to have anything that's 10 mana, right? Okay, this land helps. This gives us green, green, which means Kogla. So we play for Kogla. This Kogla fights there. And then I'm going to hold fold control here. This one fights there. So we submit. We activate this. Put that into hand. And then we can replay Volo. Just attack with Nylea. Kogler gives us a lot of devotion. And then Thorn Mammoth. Yep, there we go. That makes sense. Yeah, this is what I mean. It just goes out of control so quickly. Right, another Toski. Alright, I'm not quite as sold on this hand, but I think it's acceptable. It's a risky one, as I am reliant on drawing one more land to ramp into Volo. That'll do. I can accept that. Do we plant the food for this now? No, we'll hold off. Oh. Oh, did they stick in a one-land hand? Oh, no. They're just doing it in the second lane. Okay. Alright, and a land, which means we actually still have our food. And that's a green land as well, so I'm happy with that. Because they're green, they shouldn't... I mean, I guess there's still Kenrith's... Okay, that's a Lotus Cobra, that's fine. I can cope with that. I think if we open with Renata, it's not a power play by any sense of the word, but it then means that everything else is going to enter with more value. The fact they didn't drop a land after Lotus Cobra either means that they've got a 5 mana thing. I mean, I guess it would be 4 mana, sorry. Because, yeah, they missed a land drop. Or maybe they just didn't have a land. Or maybe they only had the one land and want to make sure that they get into Toski. Alright, they're also ramping up at this stage. So, 3, 4, 5 mana. Okay, yeah, there's the... Ah, they wanted... Okay, yeah. Put that into command zone. That is unfortunate. I will now Mara Leaf. And I guess I'll full tell this. Gives me a removal for Toski when that comes around. And I guess at least now Volo will enter with an additional counter when they get back. Right, more mana acceleration. One extra Lotus Cobra. Alright. Come on, land. Well, it's not a land, but we'll get our extra draw. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, that's sorcery speed, so let's see here. Toski comes down. They'll have the mana to replay it anyway, so I think I'd rather hit the questing, the leveling Love Strike Beast with that. Because I can currently safely block and kill most of this stuff. If it were to all attack with Toski to draw a card. Not Questing Beast, Love Strike Beast. That's not good at all. Please fight Renata. Okay. Oh no, wait, Renata's the one that was making it cheap enough for Great Henge to... Alright, well there's a land. This isn't good though. Bouncing that, it fights again. That's not big enough now. Can play out Pursued Whale. Yeah, okay, I think because Kogler attacks, I lose that. This forces everything to attack. They've got a human token that they can bounce to give Kogler indestructible once. But if I don't do this now, then Kogler's going to start getting value, and this is just unfortunate that they had an answer. Oh, that's a human as well, isn't it? Oh, it's just a pirate. They can't bounce it with Kogler. This does also give me a cheap Great Henge, which then should also set me up. So I don't think I block Kogler this turn. Just because, I mean, they're going to get a lot of card draw here. They're going to blow up that, which hurts. Okay, their permanents are now indestructible. So, I guess this only matters for one turn. Pumping for one is really, really easy to do, so I'm just going to block one of these just for this turn. And hopefully try and stabilize. Wow, that's a lot of card draw. Yeah, missing that land drop hurt so much earlier just because that would have been Riddlemaster Sphinx there. Okay, so let's see here. We have a Great Henge. We can drop Volo again. We can Riddlemaster. Karuga currently draws us 2. Oh, the Great Henge is going to be blown up by Kogler. I didn't think that through. So, considerations here. Riddlemaster bounces Kogler. Kogler fights Riddlemaster. Just stalls out a turn. Okay, I think Volo is the play. They get their own Great Henge and theirs gets to stick. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Alright. And I'm gonna call that game there. I am not going to be able to recover from that. We've got Kogler who's gonna be able to blow up the Great Henge. Thorn Mammoth is gonna kill the Volo. And I'm then down on mana with a whale that's forcing all this stuff to attack that they want to attack with anyway. So it's unfortunate. Missing that land drop hurt us a lot, and yeah, I probably answered prematurely on that questing beast. So well, not questing beast, Lovestruck beast. Alright, now Thassa is a dangerous one. Okay, this I think is definitely a free mulligan. Okay, there we go, we've got a Marody Pixie. This one will hopefully take us places. Let's get our Pixie. I mean, I say that, but we've actually not got any creatures outside of the Renata after Volo. And do they have a counterspell? They probably have a counterspell now. Oh yeah, Jarring Disruption. Okay. Alright, we'll put that. Command zone. Okay, Baron. That's fine. Just doesn't change anything of what we would be doing. Yep, there's Thassa. Okay, so 3, 4. Okay, here's what I think I do. Because they are going to flicker the Baron. Baron's going to target the Marley Pixie. We snakes can veil it. Drop this. And then we Cobbler. Alright. Now, this Mystic Subdual's not actually going to be that great against Thassa. However... Okay, yeah, they're going to want to make their reflection tokens ad nauseam. So, what do we do here? How do I answer ours? Because I attack with that, they double block. That. This is awkward. Because they're going to just keep making more. They have 2 mana up, so they could still have a counterspell for Volo. So, okay, I think we go to combat. Yeah, I swing with both. Can't destroy it. That's fine. They have to block both of these. And then I Mystic Subdual one of them. And then we can follow up with Renata. And yep, there's a counterspell. So now they're at least down on their tokens, so they'll now have to chump block. Or they can play another thing, which can then get back their counterspell. So that's something to keep in mind. I do love me Thassa. Alright, well... I can now pay the 2 for this. That is 2. If anyone has 8 or more, I do not. Oh, and they were also tapped out anyway. So now Kogla can safely attack, and I can bounce it. Wait, not if I do that. I don't like... They get back... oh yeah, if it goes back on top of library, so they don't want that back. Yeah, so they get some card draw there. Free little bit of trip damage. Riddle Master, great. Alright, I am going to... You know what? Yeah, no. Because if I activate the ability, then Volo's back to hand, and if I don't, then... So, Because this way it at least keeps their board clear. Alright, so they want to keep Sir Eleanor, which is fine for me. It means next turn I intend to Riddle Master Sphinx. That's not good. That is good. That is not so good. And then they flicker the Roman Ghostlight, they bounce Cogler. Yeah, okay. Oh no, they bounce the Pixie. Guess that makes sense. It is Mana Acceleration. They do not have their counterspell up. I have 3 mana after this. Yeah, and that also gets the fight, which then kills a thing, which they do not want. Uro gains me life. We'll play this into Uro. Hold back Cogler as a blocker. Alright, there we go. I've got to fight for the Roman Gaslight and the Alaros, assuming Volo sticks around. No attacks. And they can tap down with Thassa, but that does use a lot of their mana. Okay, that's not a problem. Sure, it'll mean that I don't get value off of Uro, but I'm not worried about that too much here. Yep, they just want to take the safe damage. Because presumably here Volo gets bounced. Now I am in a very precarious position health-wise. So yeah, Volo gets bounced. Hand. Okay, that's good. So, if I add that 6. I am 1 mana short of Wicked Wolfing safely. Damn. I think that's game. Okay, well, let's see if they see that this floating mana's here and assume they can't counter it. Oh, I could have Wicked Wolfed anyway because Volo copies it and... yeah. Ah, well. Okay. They resolve. Now, if they have anything to bounce or interact with my board here, they can still very easily get lethal. And yeah, I think they're probably going to just... okay, yeah, they Brazen Borrow that. Yeah, and now... interesting. I'd have probably done that on Cogler. But... they want to get the flying through, so now I have to... I now have to block Thassa. Alright. And then they presumably flicker the Roman Ghostlight and that's Volo. Yep. And that goes to hand. Okay, well now let's try this again. Okay. I shall pay to. Token fight that. And this will fight Alaros. Alright. This game is getting away from me, but I think... yeah, that's... if they have a single card that draws a card. Alright, let's take the chance. Yeah. I figured as much. But unfortunately, it's just... Thassa can generate so much value so easily that I wasn't coming back from that if I wasn't surviving that. Alright, now here's a commander I've not seen played yet. So Sarulf Realm Eater, it's whenever opponents put into graveyard, get a counter, upkeep, remove all counters, and then exile each other non-land permanent. So exile is not good for the Titan. This is not a good hand. This is also not a good hand. This will suffice. I think I put back the Nadir Kraken here. Thorn Mammoth I can't play yet, but is a much better thing to be able to play than the Deer Kraken when I'm short on land. Since, at least at present... okay, well... yeah, because at present I can drop the Prosperous Innkeeper. And presuming I get another land that enters untapped, I am then able to Volo. I presume they're running a lot of removal in this deck. I did not, which is a shame. So we get the Castle Vantress. Token for 1. I guess I could Glasspool mimic the Prosperous Innkeeper, but I'd rather wait a turn for Volo. Although it does also mean that they could have an answer, especially with a Cultivate going on. Okay. Alright, now thinking here. So currently I've got a Glasspool Mimic, it only clones the Prosperous Innkeeper, so I think playing it for the land is the play that I should go for at the moment. Because I'm relying on a land to get to my 5-mana stuff anyway, so I've only got Dryad of the Elysian Grove that I can currently play. Volo is dead in the water, but it does take a kit cast, so that is a plus. Eureka Moment, I will take that. That's an instant, so I will hold... no, I won't hold it up, because if I draw a land I can play it immediately. And that is actually... alright, let's put that onto the battlefield, and then I need more green, so we'll play that like so. that worked out. There we go. And now we are one land short of playing everything in our hand. We shall drop another Volo. The fact that they have priority suggests they've got something that can kill Volo immediately. But no? Okay. I mean, I guess they could also have a village rights or something to sacrifice their Solemn. They could be holding off for Sarulf so they then start getting value. That is a Rankle. I'm fine with a Rankle at the moment. Yeah, no blocks. Because they are going to sacrifice their Solemn, and I'm going to sacrifice my Innkeeper. I think I discarded the Dryad. Yep. So, because the rest gets significantly more value now that that Volo is here. So, best case scenario, I draw a land, double Thorn Mammoth, kill both of these. Best case scenario. Okay, so the real one will fight this, and this will submit 0. Okay. Alright, we are good to go. Okay, that presumably eats the token. But that is fine, because we have more than enough ways to make you miserable. So, with that in mind, I think I Cogler instead, since then the copy Cogler can fight and trade with that. There we go. That's how this is meant to play out. Alright. So that was Monster Manual. It pretty much did what I was hoping it would do, and what I expected it to do. Yeah, we did have a few issues with our Volo getting hit and lands, but I feel that, in general, it did what it was supposed to do, and we managed to get a fair amount of gas going with it. There's definitely a few changes I can see being made. I didn't actually end up playing Kruger in any of the situations where I had it in hand. Maybe I should have in some of those games, but it's going to rotate anyway, so it's not sticking around. But yeah, I feel that the acceleration end, that was fine. We were frequently able to get Volo down a turn early, and were generally able to keep him on the board or replay him fast enough that they didn't have quite enough removal to keep it locked down. And we got great value out of our top end. So, all in all, I think it was working as smoothly as we could hope, with just a couple of flubbed games and just unfortunate matchups. Maybe I could have played around the counterspell more, but I wouldn't be surprised if they then had a 3-mana counterspell as well. That would have been more total of a counterspell. But yes, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. I'm enjoying seeing what I'm going to do with Volo this time next week, basically. And as well as all of the new cards that will be coming out with Midnight Hunt. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. And I hope to see you next time.